Hi, welcome to the video Java Connect to MongoDB database with me, Nam Haming from CodeJava.net. Through this video, I will guide you how to develop a Java program that connects to a local MongoDB instance and then create a database, create a collection, insert some documents in JSON format, and then find documents in the MongoDB database. And to follow this video, make sure that you have installed this software program on your computer: Java Development Kit or JDK, Eclipse IDE, MongoDB Community Server, and Mongo Shell. First, let's start MongoDB database server on localhost. So I open the Windows command prompt and change the current directory to the directory where I installed MongoDB database, and change to the bin directory and type the command mongod here to start MongoDB database server in unsecured mode. And you can see MongoDB instance on localhost is up and running, and you can see in the console view it prints this statement here: listener waiting for connection on port 27017 here. That means MongoDB database server is listening for connection from clients. And you can see it also prints a warning here: access control is not enabled for the database because we are running MongoDB database server in unsecured mode. That means we can connect to the MongoDB database server without providing username and password. Now let's open MongoDB shell program to connect to the server here. So I open another command prompt window and also change to the directory of MongoDB bin here and type the command mongo, just mongo, to start the MongoDB shell client program. And you can see it connected to a local instance of MongoDB database server. And in the server window, you can see it print received client metadata from localhost IP address here. You can see. Okay, so that's we have MongoDB database server is up and running, and also MongoDB shell, a client command line utility to access MongoDB server. Next, let's create a new Java project in Eclipse IDE. So go to the menu file, a new create a Maven project here. So we can use dependencies for MongoDB. Check this option, create a simple project. Next, and enter the group ID for the project. Code Java, and artifact ID is MongoDB. App finished, and we got the Maven project created here. And change the Java version to 1.8 here. Okay, and open the Maven project file, is a pom.xml file here, and we need to declare some dependencies to use a Mongo driver for Java. Dependencies to use MongoDB API in a Java application, we need to declare a dependency for Mongo Java driver. Note that MongoDB is not a relational database like MySQL or Oracle, so it doesn't have JDBC driver. it provides only a library called Mongo driver for Java. So here we specify the group ID is org.mongodb, and artifact ID is MongoDB dash driver dash sync, and we use the version. The latest version of MongoDB driver for Java at this time is 4.1.0 dash beta 2. That's it. Save. And you see, Maven automatically downloads the required jar files for MongoDB driver for Java here, as you can see. And to use MongoDB driver for Java, we also need to use logging framework SLF for Java. So we need to specify dependency for logging framework. MongoDB is using SLF for J, simple logging facade for Java. So we need to declare the dependency for SLF for Java, and artifact ID is SLF for J dash API, and I use the version number 1.7.13 for the API of the SLF J for J. And then we need to use the actual logging framework implementation. I want to use log4j version 1. So we'll declare the dependency with group ID is org.slf for j, and artifact ID is slf for j dash log4j 1.2 for log4j version 1.2. 1.2 and version is 1.7.13 is the version of the SLF for J. Okay, these are the dependencies required to use MongoDB driver for Java. Yeah. Okay, and you can see the jar files for SLF for J here, and log4j version 1.2.17 here. And next, let's create a Java class to write code that connects to MongoDB database server. So create a Java class here. Name is MongoDB app. With the package is .code Java, and check this option to create the main method to launch the application. And here we go, the MongoDB app Java class here. And now I will show you how to write code to connect to the local instance of MongoDB database server in unsecured mode, meaning that the database server doesn't require authentication. So we just create a Mongo client like this. Mongo client. Mongo client equal Mongo clients. We use the method from this Mongo clients utility class, create this to connect to localhost instance. Local instance in unsecure mode without authentication. Now let's run this program. It's very simple. Run as Java application. And you can see in the console view, it prints some warnings here because we are missing the configuration file for log4j. So we need to create log4j configuration file here in the main resources directory here. So create a properties file. Name of the file is log4j.properties here. And here in the log4j properties, we specify very basic configuration. For the root logger is debug mode, and the appender is console. And we specify the appender console appender or Apache log4j.console appender. And then we specify the appender console. The layout class is .apache log4j pattern layout. And then we specify the conversion pattern log format layout dot conversion pattern is the date and time, the thread name, log level of priority, log category, and then log message and new line separator. That's it for the log4j configuration file. And let's run this Mongo application again. And you can see in the console view, it prints some information, info and debug here. Cluster created with settings, localhost, and updating cluster description to unknown. So with this information, we are not sure that the program has actually connected to the MongoDB database server or not, because in MongoDB it uses the term of cluster, and to make sure that we actually connected to the MongoDB server, we need to get some information. Mongo clan list database name here, and this return Mongo iterable here. Mongo iterable here. String db names, and we for each db name in the iterable or db names here to print the name of each database in the server. So this way we can be sure that the application has actually connected to a MongoDB database server or not. Now let's run this application. And you can see in the console view, it prints opened connection here, and sending the command list databases here. And you can see this means the programmer has actually connected to MongoDB database server on localhost with this port number here. And you can see finally it prints the three default databases in the MongoDB database server: admin, config, and local here. Let's check using Mongo shell here. You can type this command show databases here, You can see it also brings three and default database names here: admin, config, and local. Now let's try to stop the database server from the Mongo shell program. Here we can type db shutdown server. We use the admin database and type the command db shutdown server. And you can see in the MongoDB database server command prompt, the server has stopped shutting down. Here we code 0 here. And now let's try to connect again and try to run this application again. Run as Java application. And you can see it throws an exception. Connection refused connect. And the application tries to reconnect. Here you see exception opening socket here. So just click this button to terminate the application. If you don't write this code, so you are not sure that the application connected to the server or not. Now, I just create a Mongo client object here and run this program. And you can see the program runs silently and no error, no exception. While the database server is stopped here. So this statement is to make sure that the application has actually connected to the local instance of MongoDB database server. Now let's start MongoDB database server in secure mode that requires the clients to authenticate to connect to the server. So in the command prompt, type the command mongo with the flag auth here. And you can see the server is up and running, and this time we have only one warning. This server is bound to localhost here. And now let's use MongoDB shell here to connect to the server with username and password here. So type this command Mongo. U is for the username. Super user is a user I created for MongoDB, and password here. So this command is to connect to MongoDB database server with authentication. Provide username and password. You can see the client is connected to the server. And in this window, we can type the command. So databases, you can see it lists 3 default databases here. Now let's run this program again. And you can see we got an exception because now the server requires authentication. You can see the error, the exception, unauthorized here, unable to retry operation. You can see because the server now requires authentication, so we need to use URI string URI here to specify the username and password to connect to the local instance of MongoDB database server with username and password. So here we connect to local instance in secure mode here. MongoDB : double forward slashes, and then the name of the user, super user, colon, and then the password, and add localhost host name, and we use the default port number. That's it. Now we pass the URI to the create method here, URI, and then we can run this program again. As it will connect to the local instance of MongoDB database server in the secure mode by providing username and password here. Run as Java application, and you can see the program has actually connected to the server, and it prints 3 database names here: admin, config, and local here. So that's how to write code to connect to MongoDB database server. Next, I will show you how to write code to create a database and create a collection and insert a very simple JSON document to MongoDB database. Okay, so we can delete this code. Now we create a Mongo database. Here, db equal to Mongo clan. Get database, and the database name is, for example, code Java, and then we create a collection, Mongo collection. Here, document. Notice you must refer to the document class from the package .bson here. Collection equal db get collection, and the collection name is, for example, inventory here. Then we need to insert a very simple JSON document to this collection. So MongoDB server, we actually create the database, the collection, and insert the JSON document. So we create a new JSON document here. Document equal new document, and we specify a very simple attribute named value is iPhone, for example. And then we put the document into the collection. Insert one document into the collection. And that's it. And run this program. Before that, and let's check in the Mongo shell program here. So databases, and you see we have already 3 databases. The default database is admin, config, and local. Now let's run this program. Okay, now let's verify in the Mongo shell here, and you can see a new database name code Java got created here. You see code Java, and we can type command use code Java to connect to that database and show collections, to show the collection in the current database. And you can see the collection named inventory here, and we can find the document. db inventory is the name of the collection and file. And you can see there's only one document with the name iPhone here. You can rectify the output. See, so that means our program has successfully created a database, a collection, and insert a very simple JSON document to the collection. Next, I'm going to show you how to write Java code to insert more complex JSON documents to the MongoDB database. Basically, we insert a new document with these attributes: name, quantity, size, status, tax, and rating for this item journal. Yeah. Okay. Now come back to Eclipse IDE. We change this variable name to inventory for better naming, and then we create the document with the name attribute. Value for the name attribute is journal, and this is a JSON format for the document here: name, journal, quantity, rating, size, status, and tax here. So we specify the name and quantity firstly here. This should be entity, and the document name here should be journal here. And after the document created, we can append more attributes here. Now quantity value is 25 here. Okay. Now for the rating is an array of objects, so we need to write more complex code. So we create a list of document here. This document ratings equal new array list, and we put the document for the score here. Ratings add new document, score, and value is score 9 here. And then we call the collection journal append. Key is rating, and value is list ratings here. That's it. You see. Now let's run this program. Okay, done. And let me verify in the Mongo shell here. We type the command. Here you can see we have two documents in the collection inventory here. And you can see the second document, journal, quantity 25, rating, score 9 here. You can practify the result, the output here. You can see the second document here, attributes, name, quantity, rating. Rating is an array of document objects here with score 9. Perfect, right? And now let's insert the information for the size. Size is a list of values. So here for size, we create a new document. Document size equal new document. And the first attribute is height here. Height, and value is 14 with 21, and unit is centimeter. 14. Then we can append the second attribute is width here. Width value is 21, and the third attribute is unit here, which is centimeter here. And then we put the size to the collection journal. Put key is size and value is the document size here. And the next attribute for the root document is status A here. So we just call journal append status value is A here. And for tags is a list of values here. So we can use a very simple journal append tags and value is the array of string here. So we can use the array utility class provided by the Java collection framework as a list. And we have two values, brown and light here. Brown and light here. That's it. And now let's run this program. Okay, done. And you can see in the console view, it prints the information. Sending command insert inventory here. Now let me verify in the MongoDB shell here. Now you can see we have 3 documents, and you can see the third document here with the attributes exactly we want here: size, height, width, and unit, status A, tags, brown and light here. Exactly the JSON format we expect here. And you can see by default MongoDB automatically inserts the underscore ID attribute as the object identifier for each document here. You can see. And lastly, I'm going to show you how to write Java code to find some documents in a collection in MongoDB database. So we delete this code here. So here we connect to the database, get the database, and get the inventory. Then we can call inventory find without any argument to list all the documents in the collection. And this, you see, this return a file iterable document. File iterable document result. And we can iterate for each document in the result here. And for each document we can print the JSON data to JSON here of each document. That's it, and let's run the program. And you can see in the console view it prints 3 documents here. The iPhone here, you see. And we can also pass a document object to the file method here to perform a search. For example, new document, and I want to search for the document that contains this property. For example, name is journal. And you can see before that it returns 3 documents here. Now let's run this program again, and we expect that it will return only 2 documents with the name journal here. And you can see exactly we expect it returns two documents containing the attribute name journal here. So that's very simple to write Java code to read data from MongoDB database. So far, you have learned how to connect to MongoDB from within a Java program to create a database, create a collection, insert some documents, and find documents from MongoDB database. I hope you will find this video helpful. Please subscribe and then like, comment, and share this video to help grow this channel. Thank you.